Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. I am Chris Pajak. It is the Starting 11 prediction show. It's Liverpool, it's Villa, it's Anfield, and it's bounce back time for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool Football Club, the Premier League, European and World Champions. I'm here, as I always am, to try and predict Jurgen's Starting 11 for this game at Anfield, behind closed doors. Killer blow. Thank you for joining me live. Let me know your Starting 11s in the comments section below and we will get to them. And if you disagree with me, say why, which player you take out, which player you disagree with, and who you would actually put in. I'm going to go through it now. Obviously, Liverpool looking to bounce back after the result last night against Manchester City. We just watched Jurgen's press conference. Nothing really spoken about players and availability. You know, nothing that I saw anyway that suggested why Lovren was taken out as a precaution and whether he'd be back in the squad for this weekend's game. Obviously, Alisson is going to start in goal. Not a great game for Alisson Becker last night, conceding 4 and conceding another one really late on that got disallowed at his near post. Well, I think he's going to start in nets. And Andy Robertson is going to start. I did wonder whether James Milner was going to start at left back, but I do think it will be Andy Robertson. I think we're going to keep the same back four, if I'm honest. So I'm going to put it down as Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Again, could this be a game for Williams? You know, we've seen him come on a couple of times now since lockdowns ended, or since the Premier League's returned, I should say. Is this a game for him? I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I'm going to go with Fabinho at the base of the midfield 3. I'm going to go Jordan Henderson in the 8. And I'm going to go with a change here. I think after his substitute performance last night, probably one of the better players on the pitch. Certainly when he came on, we saw some of his stats came out after the game, the amount of forward passes, most on the team, and just the ability to drive with that ball. And if there was one Liverpool player, one Liverpool substitute that did change the game, it was Naby Keita last night. And as such, I think he probably deserves a start. Left wing, I'm going to go Mane. Right wing, I'm going to go Mo Salah, and up top, I'm going to go Roberto Firmino. So just the one change, I think, in this game for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. And then I'm going to go on to the substitutes then. So we're going to start with Adrian in nets. I think Williams, if he doesn't start, will make an appearance on the bench. James Milner, if he doesn't start, will be on the bench. Gini Wijnaldum drops out of the first 11 for me and goes on the bench. Lallana probably replaces one of Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott on the bench. This is a game that he started in the midfield. Actually, he started in the 6th last time out in that 2-1 victory earlier on in the season, that very late 2-1 victory. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, toying with the idea of whether he starts with Naby, changed my mind last minute. Curtis Jones, I think, is going to get the nod over Harvey Elliott. Minamino and Divock Origi. So, not a lot of changes, I know that. I can't see Jurgen's just going to throw a whole new team in. I did wonder whether maybe you'd see Jordan or Fabinho. Still can't quite decide who, but alongside Naby and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So one of those players, obviously, with them. I'd like to see that. I don't know whether I'd like to see that more or that more, if I'm honest. But I would like to see that as a midfield 3. Certainly, those are midfield pairing. I think, I think we got overrun by Manchester City in the middle of the park. And I'm not saying it's because they didn't have the legs or anything like that. That can just happen in games, can't it? So that's probably my preferred midfield 3, actually. I'd really like to see this and see if this works. And again, I mentioned earlier, Lallana started in the 6 in this game. I mean, I can't imagine that he'd do something as crazy as that. I do really just think it will be one midfield change. But I'd welcome 2. I think that's what I'm trying to say to you. I'd probably welcome 2. I wouldn't be changing him. I wouldn't be giving Williams a run out at right back just yet. Maybe there's an opportunity for Minamino, I did think, for Roberto Firmino. Maybe see a little bit more of him in that false 9 position. I think Salah looked good last night. Mane's touch was off last night, I think. He probably could have had a hat-trick on other days, if he'd added legs on the right legs, as Paul said last night. So yeah, I think that's probably... I'm going to get into some of the comments and stuff now. Keita start, said Hussein Khalif. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. Which 5 subs? Bilbo Baggins! Yes! Which 5 subs would you bring on in this game? I mean, depending on whether Liverpool are winning or losing, and hopefully it will be from a winning position and a healthy winning position, I would probably bring in Williams again at some point during the game. I would probably want to see Minamino in the false nine. I would like to see Curtis over at left wing at some point. I would like to see Chamberlain. And then you've got a question, really, of who's left. And if you're asking me to make 5, maybe just give him a run out for old time's sakes. I know he's leaving, but for old time's sakes, let's say Adam Lallana shoots in at 4-0 and just plays the ball around a little bit, something like that. Maybe something like that. That's quite an interesting question. Never had a question like that before. Enjoyed that. Which 5 sub would you make? Yeah, I like that, mate. Well done. Well done, Bilbo Baggins. Clearly, it's been a while ago since he's had an 11s, but really, you know, he's got a little bit of a spring in his step. Minamino starts as 0-6-7-8, I should say. That's not an O, that's a 0. Where would you like to see him? Because obviously we saw it where he comes on the right-hand side. I think that was against Everton, wasn't it, when he played on the right? We've seen him play in that number 9 position. We've actually seen him play over on the left as well. I wouldn't mind just getting a real... I'd like to see 90 minutes out of Minamino in the false 9, if I'm honest. Just to see what he's about, play him again with Salah, with Mane, and see how he performs with those 2 players, because it is an area of concern for me moving into next season. You know, I don't think Liverpool need to spend huge amounts of money, but if they were going to spend huge money, it would be on a forward player for me. It would be on a forward player that can really impact the game now. Almost, I know next season, but you know, when he goes in there, not a young lad coming through like a Curtis or a Harvey, it's someone who can play a tangible impact, get goals and assists. And I just wonder whether Minamino's that man and whether that's why he was brought in. And if that is the case, then I'd really like to see that. Would you bring in Thiago as a age 8? Listen, I think he's a good player. I don't think Liverpool will sign him. They do seem to be gathering a lot of pace, though, these rumours. Not from massively reputable sources, of course. I think he's 29 years old. I think for 30 plus million on 250 grand a week, it doesn't seem a very Liverpool signing. I'd have pushed the boat out another 15 and got Werner, if that was the case. But we weren't able to do that. So I don't see why we'd be able to spend this much on Thiago. But that's just me, you know what I mean? Would you like to see Jones in midfield, left centre mid, says Shivang Verma? Yeah, I'd just like to see Jones play anywhere, to be honest. He's a player that just, you know when you get them lads and you just think, player. I would like to see Keita more, but it's a position that I think he understands. I think he understands this position and this position on the left wing. And I think long term, I'm not sure where his future lies, but, you know, Klopp likes versatility in players, and you know, if he can prove that he's versatile in both of these positions, then yeah, brilliant. He's a lad that seems like he's always up for a fight, like he wants to go out there, like he's striving to not only improve but impress at the same time. And he's young and he's Scouse, and everybody knows that I like a Scouser in the team. So yeah, I think that one's cool. Gomez is dog at fullback, says Maka 335. Didn't have a great game last night. He's not. It's not his best position, fullback, is it? I'm not sure he's terrible, but yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that's fine. Max Hughes, any summer signings, Chris? Okay. I think we need a backup goalkeeper for Alisson. I think we need to know whether Larouci or Smith or someone is good enough to back up Andy Robertson. I don't want to really go in next season, and no slight on James Milner, a fantastic footballer, fantastic servant to Liverpool since he came in. One of the best free signings, maybe the best free signing that I think Liverpool have ever had. I think we lose something for having a right-footed left-back. I just think that's something. So, you know, is Larouci, is Smith the left-footed version of Williams? Because I think we're sound there. So I'd maybe like to see a left-footed left-back who plays in a similar fashion if the other two aren't good enough. Midfield, I think we're stocked. I think we're okay there. I think if Lallana goes out, Jones can come into that midfield, and we're cool with that. There's a possibility as well that, you know, Minamino could step up in the midfield role, maybe. And again, I keep coming back to it. This standout forward for one of these positions, a forward player, not a centre forward, a forward player. A la Werner, obviously that's not going to happen now. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Whether that will happen, I'm not 100% sure. What will you do if we sign Thiago, Chris? I don't know. I'd be happy. I'd be happy. Susan Suze, would you sign Koulibaly? Where does he play? Does Virgil move over to right centre half? Does he take Virgil's spot? He's not taking Virgil's spot. But I'm greedy. I'd like to see Koulibaly in a Liverpool shirt. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I think he's superb. Will we sign him? No, I very much doubt it. Mbappe 2020. Klopp should make his changes early, maybe 60 minutes, or if it ain't going well at half time, then Sebastian Szypewski, maybe? I don't know. Thiago is class as Michael McKennie. Yeah, he is a class player. He's a good player. We all know that. So there you go. I don't know, not too many people disagreeing with me. Oh, look at the state of these. That's not right, is it? Come on, straighten yourselves up, lads. Show a little bit of respect. You're Premier League champions here, please. Come on. Embarrassing. Yeah. Okay, that's the starting 11. No, not loads of disagreement, which is nice to see, which means I'll be incredibly wrong. I got the last one right, though. So I'm on a one-game win streak. We're obviously going to be here in the studio as well for the live watch-along fan zone commentary from me and Paul. We'll be going live 45 minutes before kick-off again, so please do come over. Make sure you get involved in the show. You watch it with us. Turn the others off. You don't need anyone else commentating. You just need Paul Machin and a little bit of colour commentary from Chris Pajak. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.